Live, going live. And we're live. All right. It's another weekend. We made it to Sunday, and we know what that means. It is time for another Fanboys Live in the Retro Review. I'm joined by as always, it seems like Tim and I are carrying the show a lot, you know? Of course, Lasso's helping us out, filling the gaps, but, soon Dave will be pretending that he's, stuck on the moon or something and join us for one of these shows. Which would be nice. But how you guys doing?
I'm doing well, considering the fact that the three of us weren't invited to Dave's party that's going on.
Yeah.
Right? And he's our friend.
I don't know why you two didn't get. I mean, I know the reason I didn't get invited. He didn't invite me because he knew if he invited me, I would show up. So that's why I didn't get invited. I don't know what happened with you guys.
Fu has time to go live with Squatchy. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Don't have time for his DC friends no more. I think he's got too many Marvel books.
They're getting his Marvel books are getting in the way. So if we could figure out a way to make that.
I'm waiting for the day that Green Lantern contacts Fu and says, "Please don't be my fan anymore because I'm being treated like I'm an Aquaman."
Let's be honest. Is Fu maybe in need of an intervention? Because we don't see him on YouTube, and then when he is, he's like, "I bought 50,000 copies of Fu for."
Yep.
Yeah, he needs help. He needs help.
There are other people that need Fu.
Flash, of course, is still stuck in the Speed Force. So, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, we're just gonna close up the Speed Force. We're gonna close it up. Put it away. Can't help you.
Wait a minute. If we close up the Speed Force, how will Stevie B know what his mystery box book sold for on eBay?
True.
Because he enters the Speed Force to find out.
It might be better for everybody if we don't know.
It could be.
What his book sell for?
That's true. That's true. But yeah, should we address the elephant in the room?
Yeah, it's really interesting. Pretty much while we were live last week, AT&T was having an emergency boardroom meeting, to sell Time Warner and HBO. And of course, DC Comics is part of Time Warner to the Discovery Channel, the Food Network people.
Yeah, DC Comics going to the Food Network. Yeah.
Because of that successful food box that you purchased.
I think successful might not be the word that I would use to describe it.
Okay. Maybe I just misunderstood then.
Yeah. That's okay.
So, just real quick, does anybody in the chat see us? Because I'm watching on my phone. I can't. Okay, here, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I'm watching on my phone, and it was still just the Retro Review logo.
Oh, nice. It's probably just a little bit behind, but that's okay. Yeah, that would. It would be interesting if DC went to Disney and fall under, Kevin Feige's domain or whatever, the Weed and Cut food box. Yeah, bro, I got the Weed and Cut food box for sure.
I think there's a lot of misunderstanding. Like, basically, Discovery is trying to do what AT&T did by AT&T by merging HBO and DC. They want to merge the Food Network and these, basically HBO, which is included. That's all DC included. They want to try to make their own Netflix. But when the news broke, like, I guess the majority shareholder of Discovery, he did something to his shares. He had super shares that basically, like a pre-sign off that makes it to where if they want to sell again in the future, it'll be extremely easy, whereas opposed to he could have stopped it. You know what I mean? Well, when that news sort of came out, it's sort of like, whoa, the Discovery's selling to Disney or somebody. That ain't necessarily what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's just a possibility. Basically what we saw happen with AT&T, they wanted to have another Netflix. It didn't work out, so they sold. Well, that's what Discovery is like. Well, we saw how bad that went for AT&T. We're going to try it, and if it don't work out, now it's easier to move this later down the road.
Right. Would you be excited for a DC Marvel marriage?
No.
Yeah, I can't.
I think
say
it would
I
hurt creatively. I think it would hurt.
See, you guys know me. I'm a huge collector of DC, and the last thing I want is more like having to dive into Marvel back issues to catch up with what's going on with DC. Like,
Yeah, that wouldn't be
it'd
good.
be too much.
It'd be too much for me.
Yeah.
I would vote no for many reasons. I mean, the fan bases are just different. Yes, it's comic books in general; they all kind of fall under that umbrella. But the DC universe, the Marvel universe, they're just different. They don't. You have hardcore Marvel guys, and you have hardcore DC guys. When you mix them together, it's like the scene. If you guys remember that movie way back, Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, that cook who's awful. He's like, yeah, let's go with lamb and tuna fish as a flavor. Like, no,
Exactly.
let's do DC and Marvel together. No, that's not gonna work. Like, because now if they put them together, like, it wouldn't work because take a look at Namor and Aquaman. They're mirror images. Like, how do you explain that?
Yeah.
How do you compare Wonder Woman with Warrior Woman? They're both Amazons from a mystic island.
Could you imagine what would happen in the speculation market? Because this would happen, that some DC character would be like, well, their first appearance was actually in this Marvel comic that came out before Marvel bought DC because they're similar.
Yeah. So
like,
now would Shazam go back to being Captain Marvel?
And who would Captain Marvel be?
Yeah, who would Captain Marvel be?
And Linda Danvers and Carol Danvers could be sisters.
I always thought that was so weird. Like, come on, like, how do you not like rip that off? Like, that is a complete rip off.
If they bought them and like didn't merge the universes, that might be okay. Like,
I
just
still don't think they should
separate.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't do it.
Two things that I want to say, in response to what Tim said. Number one, you should leave your shares alone. The woman turned 75 years old this week. She can't turn back time anymore. Leave her alone. And I might not have been paying attention. And number two,
say I missed it.
I think when I hear all this news about of what's going on, I just see the future state Jonathan, Superman, saying to the future state Yara, hey, you and me, baby, we ain't nothing but mammals, so let's do it like we do it on the Discovery Channel.
Like it, yeah. It's very possible.
Yeah. As you notice, I only listen to bits and pieces here and there.
But I don't think it would. I just can't see it happening. But who knows? Movie wise, maybe movie wise it would be good because everybody is obsessed with Marvel and they could do no wrong with their movies. So cinematically, maybe not like having DC and Marvel movies together, but just. Here's a DC universe, here's a Marvel universe. Maybe Kevin Feige can right the ship a little bit better.
Do you think Discovery even knows they have a comic book company now?
We're about to find out.
Because no joking, like the way it happened with AT&T, I don't think they were really aware of it. Like they didn't even they had nothing to do with DC Comics until Wienergate. And you could just imagine like someone in the boardroom's like, we're catching flack because, they showed Batman's wiener. And he's like, so? What's it have to do with us? We own DC Comics when we bought Time Warner. What? Let's start shutting that down. Like,
yeah, that's like buying a new house and all of a sudden you realize that there's a secret room and there's a fire.
Exactly. Like that's pretty much what happened. Was like they were getting flack and they're like, "Wait, we own this company?" And they're just printing dicks and we don't know about it.
Like, someone did not do their research for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, who knows where that's going to end up. Honestly, I don't think it'll happen. I don't think DC or Disney will ever own.
To be
DC
honest,
Comics.
You take HBO's content with the Food Network, it might actually be a successful app. Like coming from someone that's married, my wife would get that app.
Yes.
Food Network.
Yeah, my
She'd
wife
be like, babe, let's get it. It has your superhero stuff.
If they threw in HGTV, with that bundle. Sold. That my wife would be all over that. HGTV, Food Network, DC Comics, like it's great. Now if they would only do like one of those home remodel shows with like that's DC exclusive. They go in and they destroy someone's man cave and they put it like
Yeah.
everything. Dude, I would sign up for that show. That
Yeah.
seems like it would be a lot of fun. It seems like it'd be a lot of fun. But other news, did you hear about Robert Pattinson Batman? Or to not being Batman again already? Movie hasn't even come out yet, and he's looking for the door.
That's not good.
Yeah, so that's great news for Batman fans.
I
But,
can't wait to buy that movie for $5 on Black Friday 7 years from now. That's when
Hey,
I'll
Ross.
watch it.
That's funny. Lord, what's up, buddy?
Take Little Lord.
Yeah, Glitter Lord. That's right. I keep forgetting. But yeah, so some stuff's going on with Robert Pattinson's Batman. Not okay with or he's already looking for the door. Not wanting to be Batman already. Didn't they sign for a trilogy?
Probably.
know.
I think they do most things. So
Yeah, I think it's a trilogy, and it's already in jeopardy, and the first one hasn't even come out yet.
Well,
That's like
speaking
canceling
of other
Swamp Thing
news,
already.
Matt Reeves is involved with some of the original creators of Batman the Animated Series, and they're making a new Batman animated series based on this movie, which I guess I wonder if
hate
Patterson voices Batman.
that's gonna suck. I hate it when they do stuff like that. No thanks. Like,
Yeah.
here's a spin-off of that movie. By the way, it's animated. It's just like, you already lost me.
That's what they've been doing when we were kids. We didn't notice it. Like Batman, Forever comes out, and then Batman the Animated Series, and they're trying to sell you the toys. And
Yeah, but I was a
That's how it
kid.
works.
I didn't know any better. All I knew is it was
Yeah.
Batman and it was a cartoon. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
And
watch
a Superman animated series was announced that I won't say anything about because I don't have anything nice to say.
it. How polite of you.
It's coming
just
out.
do it. Tim, you just need to do what I did. Pick a character that is iconic and been around for 80 years, but never gets a cartoon.
Yeah, that's true. That's also very true.
Has the hit movie, doesn't get a cartoon.
Yeah. I did that, and then Green Lantern got a cartoon, and
I'm
everyone
gonna
loved it. They canceled it anyway.
I'm gonna say something really unpopular, but I feel like I can say it.
Get ready to
Regarding
watch
the
the
one,
movie.
yeah, right. Regarding both Wonder Woman movies, you said a hit movie. I'm gonna do something really controversial. I'm gonna say 2 hit movies. I liked Wonder
That is
Woman 1884.
controversial.
I know a lot of
Well,
people gave it a lot
actually-
of flack.
2 hit movies. Did Wonder Woman 3 come out?
I liked it. Gal Gadot was awesome. Patty Jenkins is great. I give me more. Give me more. It's unpopular. I know. I'm already losing followers. I'm going to start hemorrhaging followers now. But who knows?
Every time I watch that movie, I like it more.
It's great for character development. Some battles she can't win with strength. And
Mhm.
the lasso and all that good stuff. It's like she's got to think more and she's got to be a little bit more diplomatic. So I say it's a great movie, and it gave me and everyone else that maybe didn't really know a whole lot about the character just a different side of Wonder Woman. I think
Yeah.
less going in just fighting people and more trying to settle things diplomatically. But she couldn't do it in the end, and she lost Steve Trevor again. But whatever.
Mhm.
Russ still haven't seen Wonder Woman 1884.
Russ, I'm expecting one of your videos of the day to be an entire video why you haven't seen Wonder Woman 1984.
Yes, we all want to know why.
Yeah.
He showed us what it's.
Good to have you here. Thank you for stopping by.
You know what I just realized? We're talking about the people that own the Food Network bought DC, and Super Russ does random cooking videos.
Oh, a little controversy already.
Now,
Controversy already.
were you in on this, Russ?
He's a
Have they got to
secret.
you?
He was a secret consultant in the deal.
I'm waiting for the marketing to kick in, and we're going to find ourselves at Walmart in the frozen section. Punchline fruit punch.
Punchline fruit punch.
Yep.
No, thank you. No, thank
Tony,
you.
you've ate worse things than that already. I've seen the video. So
One thing I forgot to mention about the terrible DC food is I've had better food in the Army eaten MREs in the middle of the Iraqi desert, you know, I've been satisfied eating an MRE, but this food that they gave me, like, no. It's funny you mentioned that because I posted that video reviewing that box. I've lost 5 subscribers after I posted it.
Oh no.
I saw
sure it's
your
just
review on the
coincidence, but it's
website.
funny. Yeah.
It was
Oh,
like the worst meal I've ever eaten, but still better than the Snyder Cut.
did I say that? No, I didn't say that.
I'm
Okay.
just messing with you.
Because I remember I left a review on the website and I was trying to think, like, did I say that?
For those that don't know what we're talking about or haven't watched yet, go to Tony Fett's YouTube channel, and he has a review of this Justice League themed meal that he purchased, and you will see. I almost feel the need to do a response video to this, where I take the same amount of money and buy a comic book and say, "Look what I bought with that same amount of money that you spent on that meal," and
But
I could
the
get a
bright
good one.
side, you get that mother box. That's pretty cool.
It's just
Yeah,
chilling in the
the
corner,
motherboard
bro.
is
Sitting up on my other cardboard boxes. I'm trying to pack down. I got to slow down on my cardboard box collection. So like when I'm sending stuff in for slabs and stuff like that. But yeah, I got this really cool mother box, cardboard box out of it. But hashtag mold cookies. Yes. I should have included in the video, but I didn't want to do it because I wanted to keep this person's information like private. But someone from that company reached out and told me like it's not mold, like it's safe to eat. But I was
I
like,
told you, I was right. I told you it was Martian dust, Mars dust.
I was like, I'm good. It just doesn't look appetizing. The only thing I will say that positive about it is I made it with my wife. We enjoyed it. We had just a great time making the food. I just wish we got a better return on our investment.
Just wish you could have ate it.
Just wish it was edible.
Yeah.
Just
Is
wish
that
we
so
could
much
have
to
eaten it.
want from your meal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we wish we could have eaten it, but anybody else got anything cool for DC news?
I think that was the big news this week. The sale a week ago, and then the animated shows being announced. I think that's about it.
And according to this, I know I'm gonna do something kind of taboo and dip into the Marvel world here for just a second. Marvel is going to do an AC/DC comic book,
Really?
like the band AC/DC. Yeah, they're doing a comic book. I don't know who that marketed for, but okay.
I thought you were gonna bring up the Wonder Woman cover they did.
What?
You guys didn't see that? I think it's like Heroes Reborn or something. It's some character they have, and it's an art germ cover, I believe, and it looks exactly like Wonder Woman.
I saw the Virgin version of that cover, and I thought it was Wonder Woman. I thought, oh, what's this a cover for? Wonder Woman what?
I clicked into that article, and since then I've been seeing similar. I guess they have a Green Lantern character called Spectrum, and they have like a Superman character.
Is it Heroes Reborn
know.
#1?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, there's an art germ variant, and Warrior Woman looks
Just
a
like,
lot
yeah,
like
I'm
another
looking.
character.
Warrior Woman.
Yeah,
Yeah.
her name is Warrior Woman, and she's an Amazon. So how's
Yeah.
that like?
So Russ got his wish. Amalgam's back.
Heroes Reborn #1. Let me take a look. I want to check this out. This sounds. I gotta check this out.
Yeah.
Well, in Thor, remember they mentioned killing the DC universe.
Yeah.
Within the last 2 years, that issue came out.
Yeah,
I don't,
it was
I
like
don't
a
recall.
year ago. DC and Marvel both had like hints like that. Because remember, Doomsday Clock mentioned Thor and Hulk, and
We've got a Thor right now in Wonder Woman. It's not
That's true.
that
Yeah.
Thor, but we have Thor and Odin in Wonder Woman right now in the current issues.
yeah,
And on the cover of the, it's not
okay.
something 5, the DC universe. Like the very first issue is the Fantastic Four getting beat up by DC Universe, and they
Yeah.
didn't. I mean, they had to change some things, but they all have 4s on their T-shirts.
hmm Well, the Terrifics, a book I love, DC basically came out and said they made that book because that was when Fox still owned, maybe they still do own, Fantastic Four, and didn't have a comic out, so they're like, we'll fill the gap.
Yeah. But let's see what you guys got for books. Who wants to go first? I'm gonna opt to go second because I got to rearrange something here. So
I can go whenever. So
up to you guys.
I guess I'll go first.
go for it.
Perfect.
So looking for like one-shot issues. Actually picked this more for the character, as you'll see in my book show. But looking for maybe something we hadn't done on the retro review before, and I picked Batman Beyond. This is the Rebirth issue 12. And I picked it for this character here. Not sure of her last name, but her first name is Nyssa. And I'll show you her first appearance when we get to the book show. But this story, it's a one-shot story, which is pretty cool. This comes right off the heels of, I think it was a story called The Demon Reborn. It was a long story. I was actually kind of hoping it'd be like 2-3 issues to review it, because that's when they introduced Damian, like a future adult Damian Wayne, into the Batman Beyond universe proper. So this is sort of a one-shot to, catch your breath before the next big story arc. But we see Barbara Gordon investigating somewhere, and she's explaining this area of Gotham. Crown Point is sort of like the worst area. And we see her investigating, and boom, she's like, if you come to this area, the police ain't going to save you, nobody, not even Batman. And as she's saying that, a bag gets pulled over her head. So we flash and we see Max in the Batcave with Matt. Matt being Terry, Batman Beyond's younger brother. And basically they're grateful that nothing's really going on, because Terry's still gone with the Ra's al Ghul thing. They don't know his whereabouts or nothing, and Bruce is with him. And that's when they get the alert that Barbara has tripped her panic button, basically the Bat panic button, whatever you call it. And then it flips over to Nyssa, you see over here. There we go. And she's basically making an excuse to blow off her friends because she's Batgirl. So basically the basis of the story is she is in I just said the name of the place and forgot again. Crown Point. And the police don't really come there. Batman doesn't come there. She feels like nobody cares about the people there, so she watches over them. Well, with Bruce and Terry gone, Max decides she's going to go rescue Barbara. And of course, you would know it. We get to see a little bit of her in action. She's doing her own thing, tracking these drug dealers. And Max and her run into each other. And that's basically the whole spiel of, Max says she's with Batman. And Batgirl's just like, you people don't care about us. Why are you here? And she explains about Barbara Gordon. And in her first appearance, she meets Barbara. And I don't think you see her from that issue to this issue. But I guess when the Brother Eye event happened, if you don't know about it, it's a lot to explain. Just look up Future's End. I believe it still plays a part in this future universe. Basically, she's hurt because Barbara never tracked her down to see if she was okay. And Barbara basically couldn't. Like, she tried and couldn't find her. So we see Barbara tied up, and it turns out these people are actually dirty cops. And the goons that grabbed her are getting reamed because they should have just ignored her, let Barbara snoop around and leave, and now they're going to have to kill the commissioner because she's overheard too much. And it's pretty cool, Tony. You'll like this. Max and Batgirl are talking. You can see Zatanna there.
Nice.
How are they going to go in there and rescue Barbara with all these men without her getting hurt? And she tells a story about meeting Zatanna that magic is more illusion. So we see them just drop straight in, start fighting. Well, what actually happens is Max is projecting a hologram. You can see a thug go through her, which throws everybody off, and she's still up on the roof. and she's doing things like shooting lasers and throwing nets in, and the people don't realize she's up there. So basically, you know, Barbara gets loose and her and Batgirl take everybody down. I mean, a pretty straightforward story, a lot of good characterization. And, you know, Batgirl kind of blows off Barbara, but Max meets up with her later. And it's sort of like, you know, hey, we could be a team. We don't need Batman. You know, we could operate without him. And she sort of goes for that. Takes her little device they gave her to contact her. And there's, you know, still sort of talking about this area town that nobody cares, but they're like, you know, basically this is a job for the Batwomen. That the three of them will work together sort of behind Bruce and Terry's back to patrol this part of town. And that's the end. A simple story, but a good story. And I think this is a character, to my belief, only has 2 appearances. That deserves more screen time. Don't know her last name, but first name Nyssa. Pretty cool character.
It's not Nyssa Al Ghul, though.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
That's the only
Lucian
Nyssa I
Arrow?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'd have to Google it. I don't think they've revealed her last name. You know, maybe to have more mystery about what's coming in the future, but
Yeah. Who knows?
How old is that book?
It's within the Rebirth era.
yeah, probably a year into Rebirth, so 2017. To be honest, I don't think they'll do much with her. One, because the book's canceled, but later on they brought Batwoman in. You know,
Yeah.
Dick Grayson's daughter. So
Yeah. And number 3, Discovery doesn't know it owns DC.
Yeah, that's true.
they really have no idea she exists.
That's funny. I'll go ahead first here.
Yeah.
So, if you remember, last week we did the Nightmaster for appearance and all that shenanigans. So, I decided that let me fix this here. Whoop, that way you can see me. Perfect. So I decided to just go right ahead and continue with another Nightmaster key, which is next issue, DC Showcase number 83 from June of some year that I can't remember. But this one is full of cliches, and they're really funny. So remember that Nightmaster has lost his girlfriend when they were attacked by thugs in the electric Band-Aid that Copy 801 has failed to find.
Yeah, he's getting demerits for that.
He's getting demerits for that for sure. So they went there to this alternate universe. Turns out Jim is an ancient descendant of some ancient warrior or whatever, and he's the new Nightmaster. And he's trying to find his girlfriend who's in this universe with him, but they can't find each other. But it's funny because he's trying to get to his girlfriend, and he has to come across like a video game. You have different levels, you have different bosses. But he gets to this guy down here, this Viking guy, or maybe he's on the next page. I don't remember. But where is it? Yeah, right here. This Viking-looking gentleman. And he says, yeah, you know what? I'll totally help you, but you got to fight me first to see if you're worthy. And, of course, he wins. So the guy has to help him on his quest to find his girlfriend. And he's like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I know where she's at. Follow me. And it's like, oh, this is really convenient. Like, gives it no thought. Like, wow, this guy knows exactly where to go. Like, you're not even going to question. Okay, let's go. Let's go. So, in typical movie and comic book fashion, where do you think they go to find information? The bar, the local water hole, where they get into a shouting match, and it turns out some other people don't want them to be here, and they say, "Hey, we're just looking for info. Can you confirm the location of this magical place that we're trying to get to?" And they said, "No, but if you fight me and win, I'll tell you." So okay, so these two fight this big giant bar fight, and they end up winning. So now their party's even bigger. They got some people helping them out. And then they figure out exactly where they're supposed to go. But they get distracted by treasure, which is kind of cool. And then they said, hey, it's this. I bet we're trying to get to this giant floating pirate ship in the sky. Like, probably, right? You remember, like, in Super Mario World, Super Nintendo version, Bowser had this magic floating ship in the sky. And you were like, I bet that's where I need to go. Same thing. They look at it and they say, oh, I bet that's where they need to go. So they get there. They get on board. They take over the pirate ship. They use the pirate ship to scale the walls of this magical castle. Turns out his girlfriend is inside. They get in this big, huge fight with all these demons and skeletons and magic beings, but they fight them off. And then it turns out at the end, you can see, according to this panel right here, his girlfriend is fading away, and it was just a hologram, and it's a trap. A trap to kill everybody involved. And that's they kind of leave us on a cliffhanger here, where they're like, oh man, am I ever going to find my girlfriend? And you can see in the silhouette, it's a little kind of hard to see, but inside the silhouette of the moon, you can see that floating pirate ship kind of float off to their next adventure. But I do want to bring this up, though. I thought this was kind of neat. It is a map, and I've never actually seen this in the comic book, so this is kind of neat. So they have an orientating map in the back of this comic book. So when they're talking about places, you can actually go to the back of this book and see where they're talking about, where things are in the map and stuff. I thought that's
cool.
I thought that was pretty neat. I haven't seen that one before.
I love when comics go the extra mile like that.
Yeah, for sure. But this is the first time I've ever seen a cool map in the back of my comic book. So cool, awesome. I didn't know that. This is my first time reading this particular issue, so it was kind of a pleasant surprise.
What issue was that again?
This is DC Showcase number 83. And this is from 1969. So
that's cool.
It's weird. Like we're talking about how bad DC Comics are now, but back in the 60s and 70s, like everything was like a home run, basically.
DC, like up till the death of Superman, they were always leading the game.
Yeah.
Even now they're not big in sales, but they were the first to leave Diamond. Like in a way, there's still the movers and shakers of the comic world.
To a point, you're right. But story-wise, I mean, like I wish we had stories like this now. You know what I mean? Like it's just story. You know, it's all like action-packed and awesome. You know, fantasy and
that Batman Beyond by Jurgens, maybe the last good long series with one writer.
Yeah, the current one, you mean the Rebirth era one?
Yeah, it's 50 issues. I believe the same writer on all of them, and they were all good. Character progression, everything.
Dan Jurgens signed like, I have to check, but I want to say like 17 or 18 of my Batman Beyond books that he wrote.
That's cool.
So a chunk, which is kind of neat. But yeah, anyway, I'm running the time here. Lasso, you're up.
Okay, cool.
You're on the clock.
So I decided to go Bronze Age. No surprise, since I'm such a big fan of the Bronze Age. And her name sure didn't age well, but I sure love the character Isis. And Isis Volume 1, issue number 7 is what I chose. This is from 1977, November of 77. We have a Rich Buckler cover here. And cool. Jack C. Harris wrote the story, which is called Feel the Fangs of the Serpent King. And the interior artwork is Mike Vosberg. So our story picks up essentially with Isis from the previous issue, and she's leaving, and Rick Mason, her love interest, and her mother are down below. And Rick Mason starts to wonder if, because at this point, Isis had given up her Andrea Thomas identity, but no one knew that. No one knows that she's Isis. And he starts to wonder if Isis has something to do with Andrea's disappearance. So as they leave, Isis is thinking to herself how she would like to reveal to them that she is Andrea, but the magic that goes along with her becoming Isis doesn't allow anyone to see the connection between the two people. So it's not possible even if she wants to. Well, Rick decides that he's going to investigate the origins of Isis more. And he heads off to do that. Isis, she's in this forest park, and the park rangers see her restoring stuff and essentially want her to make a few more improvements. And Isis kind of snaps at them and says, I only mend what was undone by unnatural means. I cannot do no more. So, and she kind of flies off. So then we got Rick Mason. He's at a museum after hours. He got special permission to be in there. He's looking through this exhibit, and he's learning about the original Isis, which takes us back to the original Isis origin, and how there was this king. And I knew I always want to call him Serpentor because that was the one in G.I. Joe, but his name is Serpentinoped. And how he was trying to rule Egypt, and an old wizard was able to put powers into this young woman who becomes the very first Isis, and she's able to defeat him. Well, of course, as any good villain, he vows to come back someday and get revenge. So Rick Mason is studying this, and of course, on this sheet of paper that's talking about this Serpentinomed, it says, whatever you do, don't speak these words. So what does he do? He speaks those words, and he becomes the new Serpentinomed, which is not easy to pronounce. So he vows to get revenge. He can sense that there is a descendant of the original Isis here, and he's going to get revenge on her. So he's able to track Isis, who's just kind of flying around the city. She feels drawn to the museum. She doesn't know that it's him that's drawing her there. But in the meantime, she stops on a roof. Oh, she stops actually to protect some people kissing and smooching from being hit by a gargoyle. Then she stops on a roof where a little girl kind of asks her if she's Isis and who she is, and she has this little heart-to-heart with this little girl, and essentially she tells the little girl that, you know, you have something that I don't. You have an identity, and Isis is questioning her own identity. Well, in the meantime, this Serpent King has taken his Rick Mason form, and he's out in the streets. He's turning, he finds Isis. He turns the little girl into a snake. And Isis wants to, you know, just kill the snake, but she knows it's really the little girl, so she can't. After she frees herself from there and the girls turn back, she notices people on the street are becoming snakes. And she finds this Serpent King, and they do battle. He entombs her, and she's like, well, you can't really entomb me. And he says, I'm so sorry here with my pacing. He says, well, I've entombed you in plastic, you know, which isn't a natural element that she can control. And she's kind of like, yeah, but I can control the air that's in here. And she sucks all the air out, essentially, and is able to weaken the plastic, freeing her from her prison. So in a nutshell, she destroys the guy. She sees that he's turned back into Rick Mason, and she's shocked. She's like, Rick Mason, you're the Serpent King now. You know, what's going on? And she goes to leave with him to take him home. But the one thing that she doesn't notice in this final panel, there is the real Rick Mason inside the Serpent King's, his tomb where he was before. So she's leaving with the Serpent King, who's actually just in his Rick Mason disguise. And she doesn't know it yet. So this issue, or this comic book, would only have one more issue left in it. It was always a favorite of mine. I enjoyed it. It's based in the Shazam universe. Isis is a spin-off of Shazam, and she used to have a live-action show, the Shazam Isis Hour, on Saturday mornings. And not only does this book have all the stuff that I've enjoyed, it also has a Hostess Twinkie ad starring Wonder Woman.
Awesome. That is cool. That is cool. Yeah. Not a good character name for 2021, but
no, the name didn't age well.
Name did not age well.
Great character though, great stories. I think the book got caught up a little bit in the DC implosion. I'm sure it probably wasn't selling well.
Sure.
It lasted 8 issues, and this is the first time we had an Isis origin. On the TV show, they just said she was a descendant upon the original Isis. They didn't really go further in depth. And the comic is based on the TV show. Those comic books, you can find her first appearance, which is in Shazam 25, and you can find Isis #1 pretty easily. It's much tougher finding ISIS number 2 through number 8 because dealers don't take that book to shows because no one's looking for ISIS number 2 through number 8.
True.
You can't find those issues very much. I'm really happy to have, the full run of it. And there were 3 issues I was missing until about 2 years ago when my friend Mark got them for me. So shout out to Mark Bray.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, those ISIS keys are great, but, depending on where Black Adam kind of goes, because keep in mind, ISIS is Black Adam's wife. So who knows what they're going to do in the Rock Black Adam movie, whether they're going to include an ISIS. These keys could blow up a little bit. Luckily, I got my cool little ISIS appearance from the Shazam line of comics, so I'm pretty happy about it.
Do you have any of her series?
Yes, I have. I think I need number 6. I think, but I have most of them. I think 6 is the only one I need, really. Yeah. But I would agree. They're not something I stumble upon often. One, I would say more, but other than that, I mean,
one you'll see a little more, just I think because it's a first issue.
Yeah,
I've been on the lookout for that since you and Dave were showing it, her first appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any ISIS books. Even looking for her modern first appearance, I haven't come across that. I actually got mine in a mystery box, looked up. Yeah,
I just found
the Ackley box. Yeah,
the modern ISIS who appears in 52, the series 52. I just found that a couple of weeks ago at a half price books for $1.
Wow.
And it was so fitting because, 2 decades earlier, I found Shazam 25, the first appearance of ISIS, at a half price books for $1.
$1?
That ain't
you
no
paid
dollar
$1 for
anymore.
that book? Yeah, that ain't no dollar book anymore, man. That's that's like $100 book at least.
Yeah.
Depending on the grade. But I got mine. I didn't pay $1 for it, but I didn't break the bank either. I feel like I got a good price on it, but I got it before the Shazam movie was even probably being thought of. So,
yeah, and Super Russ made the comment he didn't know that there was live action. I do want to add in for Russ and anyone else that didn't know or maybe had forgotten the Shazam ISIS hour. Sometimes they would cross over.
Yep.
And ISIS would be in Shazam, and then Shazam would be in ISIS, or one story would start in Shazam and then end in ISIS. So it was so cool seeing both of those heroes together on a TV show. It's amazing. It's that 70s cheesy stuff that your kids are supposed to learn a lesson. I learned don't hitchhike from watching ISIS. And
the greatest hero team up in history is when the live action Super Friends made a ski pyramid. That was
oh yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but it's fun. Some of them are up on YouTube. They're not in that great of quality, and the DVDs for that are sold out and command a high price when they can be found for the complete series. But check it out sometime and just see what you think, especially the crossover episodes.
The gentleman who played Shazam in the 70s, both of them were at a con in Philly a few years ago, I think.
Really?
People were getting the comic book series based off the TV show Shazam, and getting them to sign. And I thought
there were actually 2 actors that played just the Captain Marvel portion of Shazam. Yep. After season 1, Jackson Bostwick was replaced by an actor named Davy something. I'm blinking right now. It's not Davy Jones. I know that. Man. Hey, Flashpoint.
I made it.
And another little history too. I don't know if he knows this, but Jackson Bostwick, the original actor to play Shazam in that series, he lives very close to Comic Fu.
Interesting. I'll be in that neighborhood. Maybe I'll knock on his door.
Yeah.
Get an exclusive interview. Why not?
Right.
That would be cool. But it's show and tell time.
John Davey. I'm sorry, that's his name. John Davey.
John Davey. Since Lasso just went, Lasso, you're on the clock for a book show.
Okay. So what I thought this time around, because you don't see a lot of people showing this, I thought it would be fun for my book show if I did a DC special, and DC special number 3 is the all girls issue.
Ooh.
And here you got Supergirl and Wonder Woman and Black Canary and Star Sapphire and Cheetah and someone that I don't recognize at all way in the back.
Is that fire?
And it's just a fun book that you don't see that all that often either. And I thought it would be a good book show. It's
is
filled
really
with
cool.
all reprints.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was a big deal that, this is one of the, I don't know if it's the absolute first, but it's one of the early all-female issues that DC had ever done.
Very cool. That's awesome. I've never seen that before.
Oh, you never seen that? Yeah, that's
never
fun.
seen that. I'm gonna keep an eye out for that, just because it'd be
Yeah,
really
DC
cool to
special
have.
number 3.
Is that a key issue by chance? DC special number 3. I'll have to look
I think
it
the
up.
only thing that's key about it is it's the all-girl issue. I mean,
Okay.
that's the novelty of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if
all
that's the first time
All
they've
those
done
DC
that.
specials are hard to find in general.
Are they?
Trust me,
Okay.
I've been trying to track them down.
Do you have
Yeah.
that one, Tim?
I do not think so, but I'll double check.
while you do that, go ahead with my book show here. So if you joined us and we're talking about news in the first half of the show, we talked about Batwang. So here's my Batwang number 1, Batman Dan number 1, signed by Brian Azzarello.
Damn.
Yeah, this one's pretty cool. I paid what, $5 for this autograph, just something silly, stupid. And I got this book before anyone knew it was hot. I pre-ordered it from my comic book shop just because I thought it was a cool idea. Nobody knew what was inside. And when it came out, like, I couldn't get to my shop, like, hardly at all. And they were total bros, and they saved my copy for me, which
That's
was
awesome.
great because they were going for hundreds on eBay, and they totally could have taken advantage of it, and they didn't. So shout out to Comics Connection in Mechanicsburg for helping me out. So I got the autograph from Brian Azzarello. Cool guy, shook my hand. We chatted for a second. I left the line, and some guy wanted to buy this from me for like $300, like
Wow.
cash in hand. He's going to hand me $300. So
How tempted were you?
for a second there, I was like, damn, like $300, like, and he's got he's showing me the cash. He's got it right there in hand. I was like, it's kind of tempting, but ultimately I said no thanks because I didn't want to pay $300 to get another copy of this, but
Yeah.
he knew it was
But man-
authentic because he saw me just 5 seconds ago get it. So,
But man, that feeling that he gave you, it was worth $300 because you knew you had something that was desirable to other people and someone else wanted what you had.
yeah, and I knew this book was, on eBay for hundreds of dollars at this point, but here I am. I got mine freshly signed, right away, and so that increases the value. I think $300, in my opinion, was a little low because they were going for, not autographed. They were selling for about $5 easily, but
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get it.
at one point they were selling for like $1,200.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, no, thanks. I'm going to keep mine. But in the spirit, we're talking ISIS, so I was going to show my ISIS number 1 too.
There you go.
So if you are ever out in the wild and you see this book, grab it. It is a key. It is still very affordable. You can find it for $10 in good shape easily. So when you go to your conventions or your little honey holes, grab this issue if you see it. Because who knows where this character is going to go? This book could, explode, and I can't see that happening. But anything's possible.
I have to say too, if I had a little extra money that I was comfortable playing around with, Mike Vosberg, who did the art in that issue, he did the entire ISIS series, and he really makes the characters look how they looked on the TV show.
He does, yeah.
I would love to get Mike Vosberg to do an ISIS / Wonder Woman commission for me.
That would be cool. Does he
would
go to
just love
conventions
it.
at all? I
I
don't
don't
think
know,
I've ever
but
seen him.
he does commissions via his website because I've seen his rate, and his rates aren't that bad. But he still draws great. I mean, I've seen stuff that he's done in the last few years, and it's just
What is his name? Mike Vosberg?
Mike Vosberg.
I have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I would love to have a Wonder Woman ISIS commission, and I just think that would be awesome. And I did read a story though of someone within the last few years that got a commission of the character ISIS from him, and they paid him via PayPal, and in their PayPal notes they said regarding our conversation, or in the subject line, per our conversation regarding ISIS. Well, PayPal sees that and
ISIS,
freaks
yep.
out and froze his account and demanded more information on exactly what was happening. And he said PayPal received a 3.5-page written summary with much more information than I'm sure they ever dreamed they would know of a superhero named ISIS.
I would have just copy and pasted this comic book in PDF and just sent it to them.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's hilarious. That's funny. I mean, that sucks, but I mean, hey, I get it. They're trying to crack down on terrorism, but that's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. Tim, what do you got for us?
It's interesting to know that they were paying attention at least.
That's true. That's true. Someone was watching out.
Yeah.
So I took the mystery out of what I'm showing. The first appearance of Nyssa Batgirl Beyond is the last issue of Batman Beyond Unlimited, issue 18. Super cool, somewhat unknown character that deserves more time.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not something that I recognize. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very cool. But I'm gonna check that guy's website out. I kind of want to sketch too.
Yeah.
Especially if they're reasonable. But that's yeah. So great show, guys. Great books. Everybody picked great books.
Yeah, we did, and we beat the hour mark, and
we beat the hour mark. We'll try to get more guests on for next week. It's kind of a shame, maybe it's just me being bad timing, but I'll get some more people on for next week. It'll be fun. And I think next week we are on whose channel?
Your channel.
I think it's your channel, or is it my channel?
Yeah, it's your channel.
Or is it Magic's channel? We want to throw Magic in the mix.
I don't mind.
Okay,
no, it doesn't matter. You can keep going through your channels for now.
No, let's do yours. Let's do yours.
You want to go on mine?
Yeah, it'll be the first retro review outside of the inner circle here. So it's next week on the Magic Lasso channel, and we're gonna spread the word. We're also doing a giveaway next week on Magic channel. I know we're not only is it on your channel, but we're also giving some cool stuff out. So stay tuned.
5 Wonder Woman books from his collection.
From his personal collection.
It's my sad duty to inform you that next week has been canceled.
It's already been canceled.
Lack of interest from the host.
Lack of interest. That's right.
Well, thanks for having me on again.
No problem. Who's got what coming up on their channel? Anybody got anything cool?
I'm doing another comic book editions video. I've got a few more in the pipeline coming out, some recent additions to my collection. And I've kind of been thinking about it. I had an experience with a very big company that deals in comic book superheroes and collectibles that was not positive at all. And I gave them every opportunity to fix this, and they chose just not to respond, and not to even respond to PayPal when I had to file an escalated claim. And, I'm kind of at that point where I think I'm going to blame them and name them. So that might be coming up soon on my channel as well.
Wow. Blame them and name them.
I've gotten to a point like that too, because I used to never name people. And I think going forward, it's the way to go. And I would
really is.
But I mean, in the long run, spoiler, I got my money back. When you're not even going to, if you can't even take the time to reply to PayPal, that's pretty bad.
Yeah. My experience, the bigger the company, maybe the bigger the name, usually is the worst customer service.
Well,
they don't need you,
I think it's time for some restaffing at this company. So I think I might be talking about that in the future.
Stay tuned for that. That sounds awesome. I'm definitely
it wasn't
check
awesome because it was bad news to create the entire scenario.
That's true. But I am curious to see who it is. So if it's as big as it sounds, I'll have to keep an eye out and maybe not do business with them.
But sounds like a good video.
Yeah, not good news, but sounds like good content.
Yeah.
Tim, what about you? Anything cool?
I finished my Teen Titans collection videos this week and did a a video on why you should read Batman Black and White coming up this week. I don't know, like, kind of got through everything, but I'm sure I'll have something coming out.
Awesome. I actually did a response to you. You asked for a top 50, and I couldn't do it. I tried, but I decided to do my own spin. I did the top 5 comics in my collection that have the most sentimental value to me. Not necessarily like cool keys or whatever, just comics that have sentimental value that aren't really worth a whole lot. So that's coming up on Tuesday on my channel. And on this channel, keep in mind, Monday, we have Magic Monday coming out, hosted by me. So that's exciting. And then we have Tales from the Green Lantern Corps, hosted by Tim. That's on Tuesday. And then there it is. Then we have Wonderful Wednesday, hosted by Magic Lasso on Wednesday. So today is the start of 4 days of content on our channel for the first time ever, which is kind of cool and exciting. And these kind of like quick reviews that we've been going on, we've been doing it's been a lot of fun. I like having fun reviewing your guys' footage and then editing it in. It's been a lot of fun.
All we need is Flash Friday from Flash and Fooey Thursday from Foo, and we could have
a whole week,
Monday through Friday. Yeah.
I know if Flashpoint's still in the chat, I'm repping for him today.
There you go. Me too. Look at that.
Yeah. It's for you, Mike.
That's fun. But I know Tim's got a hard stop here coming up, but so we'll try to keep it brief. Thank everybody in the chat. Let me shout them out real quick. We have Super Russ. We have I Collect a Lot. I think I saw my mom in there somewhere. This one I'm not familiar with who that is. So
that is my friend Stephanie.
Stephanie, it is great to see you. Thanks for swinging by.
And she hosts it's on hiatus right now, but she does a Star Trek show on her channel on Monday nights. It's
Star Trek
currently on hiatus, but yeah.
Cool. We'll have to. Does she have any DC comics? Maybe we'll have to include her in the mix.
She has. She might have a DC Comics Star Trek comic, so
it counts. Got a DC Comics label on it. We'll count it.
And I will tell you one thing real quick. The hashtag Foo is a Furry has showed up on her channel.
Wow, it's going global. Okay, very cool. So happy to have Stephanie in the chat.
Apologize, Stephanie.
Yep.
We apologize. Let's see who else we got. I saw the Glitter Lord himself. He made an appearance. And that looks like that's it for now. But I know we get a lot of folks that watch on the Rewind. So if you are catching us in the Rewind, thank you for that. But until next week, keep in mind we are on Magic Lasso's channel next week. Looking forward to it. And we will catch you all next week. Peace.